Lovely. So, not a good start, falling over. We shall do our setup standing up, and then we'll take it down to the floor, and we shall use the ball or a rolled up towel for a little bit of balanced work, so you can always work without it, and a little bit of getting the upper back open. So we want our feet, our heels under our knees, knees under hips, hips under shoulders, shoulders under ears, pulling up nice and tall, hands down by the sides, and think of engaging the core. So we squeeze the tummy in a little bit, and we imagine we've got a zip here and we're zipping up the pelvic floor. Let's just let the toes separate and just have a little rock side to side, back and forth, and just sort of find ourselves nice and centered, so the weight's evenly distributed between the toes and the heels. Lovely. And again, I'm just going to activate my ankles because mine tend to fall in. So just a bit of strength, you might find yours fall out. So either way, find some activeness running through those ankles. Let's breathe in through the nose, nice deep breath. And out through the mouth. Let's take a 3, 4, 5, 6 second breath in, as long as you're comfortable with. And then out through the mouth. So our tummy's expanding, filling up with air, front, back and sides. And as we breathe out, we're squeezing this band like a corset, and air is exhaling. Breathe in. One more deep one. Really squeeze that tummy on the out breath. And let's go to a normal length breath, but still really forcing that air out on the exhalation. Drawing the tummy towards the spine, squeezing the pelvic floor, so the tummy's really working even though we're just standing still. Lovely. Breathe in, breathe out, tuck in the chin. Breathe in, lift the chin. Breathe out lower, palms to the front, stretch those fingers. Breathe in, lift the chin, feel the chest lift slightly, heart to the ceiling. Breathe out lower. Breathe in, lift. Breathe out lower, let's add those arms, lift, stretch the tummy, and out, and breathe in, lift, and out, little swing with those arms, bend those knees, we're going to swing all the way down, eyes to the knees, breath out on that way down, squeeze that tummy in, one more. Slowly coming up, lovely. Let's warm head, neck and shoulders, little circle with the nose, just warming up the neck. So just getting ourselves a little posture check again, feet are hip width apart, ankles under the knees, change direction, shoulders are back and down. So if we had little pockets underneath our shoulder blades here, our shoulders are in them, so we're nice and engaged. Lovely. Let's take the ear to the shoulder. Lovely, and we try and move with breath. So breathing in, breathing out, come back to centre. Breathe in, take the body, the head away from the body. Breathe out, come back to centre. I think that's Emma higher. Breathing in, just started. Breathing out, back to centre, and again. Let's take the ear to the shoulder on the right hand side. Keep it here again. We like grab our ear, don't really grab it, just gently grab it, but feel you're lengthening up through the spine, and then with the fingers we just gently give a little bit of a stretch. Let this shoulder relax, and then this hand we push down. If you want to increase, you can pull the shoulder down with a hand if you can reach, or just stay where you are. It's like you're creating traction, you're pulling your head away from your shoulder, but it's only gentle, just with the fingertips. Let's rotate down. And release, wonderful. Let's change sides, ear to shoulder. Lengthen and then tip. Relax the arm, stretch down or reach up and stretch. Keeping the rest of the body still, the hips are level, the spine is level, the stretch is just in the neck. Lengthening that shoulder down and rotate. Keep breathing, keep squeezing that tummy in on the out breath, keep zipping up that pelvic floor on the out breath. and release. Lovely. Again, hardly any upper body work today on the shoulders, but we will give these wrists a little warm up anyway, just because we like to do our cat stretch, and it's good to get the wrists nice and warm. Let's circle them the other way. Keep those ankles active, knees are soft, pulling up through the body. Lovely. Let's flick those hands up and down, up and down. Shoulders down, lengthening through the spine. Draw the tummy in, draw the pelvic floor muscles up. Lovely. Hands together, figure of 8. Nice fluid movement. And then we're stretching, bending, stretching, bending. Make it fluid, but feel a little stretch in there as well. Then we're going to go the other way. Should be getting more fluid now. Good, every week we do it, getting better. Let's stretch those hands all the way up. Let those shoulders lift up to the ears, and then let them slide down into those pockets behind you. Lovely. And then we're just lifting up one arm, one shoulder, and releasing the other shoulder. Then let's come back to center. Bring these down, hands to me, stretch the shoulders apart, chin tucks in. Upper back stretch, really feel those shoulder blades separating. And release. Lovely. Let's do a little bit of a spine twist. I'm going to step forward just so I've got some space. I'm going to have the hands just here, and my chin is going to be level with my watch. Knees a bit more bent, and that keeps the hips from moving, so we don't want any twisting in the hips, it's just the upper body. So small twist and center, small twist the other way. Breathe in as you twist, breathe out as you center. Breathe in as you twist, watch that hip and those knees, nothing should move. Squeeze the shoulder, push that back, squeeze. Lovely. Keep your chin in line with your watch. We're going to rotate, I'm going to add a reach, and I'm going to follow with the eyes. Breathe, breathe out, come back. Breathe in, twist and reach. Come back. Breathe in, twist and reach. One more, really reach back, rotate that spine. Back to center, lovely, release. Let's have a little stretch down to the side and center. And the other side. Try not to let the shoulders lift up and down, it's just a tip in the body. And if you feel you need to, just have your hands on your hips just to support a little bit. If you're feeling any sort of twinging in that back, remember we are bending, so you're squashing those discs. We need to move slowly and gently. I'm going to add on an arm. Again, this is optional. Reach up and over and release. Then switch sides. So we're reaching out, up and over. Keeping the ear, the arm near the ear. I always get my bits mixed up, but I always have, so there you go. We know what I mean. Let's do one more. Lovely, and release. Well done. Okay, little roll of the shoulders. And again, really big movements. So up to the ears, squeeze the shoulder blades back, down, and then try and imagine you're trying to touch the shoulders at the front. So it's a really big, over-exaggerated movement. Might feel a bit of clicking, but it's just really warming up these shoulders properly. Let's reverse, back, up, forward, down. Lovely, 2 more. Wonderful. Lovely. Okay, we're going to take it down to the floor. So we're going to use the balls today, but a lot of it's going to be used for either under the lower back or the upper back. So you can have a rolled up towel, same thing. It will just cause instability, but it also gives you a stretch. I'll pop them down there. I'll show you how to do both in case you don't have a ball. But we'll do our roll down. So our hips are staying still, and we're trying to roll the body down. So breath in here, breathe out. The first one we want to do really nice and slowly, so your head tips down. Imagine you're really, really heavy. And then you round the shoulders. It's kind of like a robot who's just had his had his power cord taken out, so he's like slowly just slumping down. Squeeze the tummy. Maybe if you've got any lower back issues, support your hands, press into your thighs, so you can still get a lovely stretch in the back, but you're not pulling, you're supporting yourself. And then when you're happy, stretch, 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 and then you can start to come down. You can straighten the legs if you want, or keep them bent, let the arms hang down, whatever works for you. Breath in, breathe out, come back. Again, think of your spine stacking up on top of each other. Imagine that your cable has just been plugged in, so you're like, ooh, slowly standing back up, ready for action. Again, breathe in, breathe out, pull the belly in, roll down. I'm quite warm today. It's in the morning that's the worst for this. And I've done quite a lot of walking earlier, so I'm nice and warm. Give me one more of these. I'm going to flip my camera around and then we'll take it to the floor. Lovely. Keeping the feet here, so we're stretching the underneath of the feet. Hands just hold here, shoulders back, just hold here for a moment. Just feeling a nice stretch in the feet, pushing back. And then release those feet and just gently sit back into child pose and relax down. Just remembering all the things we were saying last week about being mindful of your back. If you've got any lower back issues, really stretching it like this might not be good, so you can always lift up a bit more or just bear that in mind. Or you can keep the body up here so it's not such an intense stretch, you're not bending so much. Okay, I want to do a little bit of a cat stretch, but with a bit of a difference today. And again, this is just to really nicely warm up the hips. So we're on all fours, same as usual, knees under hips, hands under shoulders. And I just want to, rather than just doing our pelvic tilt, which we are going to do, I just want to do a little circle. So just, you're just literally drawing a circle. So imagine your tailbone is a pen, you're drawing a circle like that. So you will kind of arch and round. If you're finding that really difficult, just have a wiggle from side to side. And again, it's really, if you've got any back issues or feeling any twinging, don't. I'm just circling round. And then let's change in direction. It's just a nice little way of warming up your hips and your back. Oh dear, my knee. Maybe the thinner mat was not a good option. Lovely, back to centre. So good old cat stretch. So last week we really learned it's all about this pelvic tilt. So you really want to tuck under here and pull your abs upwards. It's as if you're doing like sucking your belly in and then release. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. So it's like your tailbone, you're trying to tuck it underneath and really pull the belly in, pull the pelvic floor in. Then we'll start to add the upper body a bit more. Shoulders back, stretch the tummy, stretch the ribs, pull up and then let the head come under. And again, release. Shoulders back and release. And again. 2 more. And come back. And just stretch those arms. Lovely, coming up. So I do want to do actually one upper body thing, but it's on the ball, so it's you know, it's a little bit, it's not too much shoulders really. So it is going to be a nice tricep push-up on the ball. So if you don't have a ball, you can use your towel. And the idea is your hands are in that position. So if you don't have a ball or a towel, still have your hands as sort of as close together as you can. They're kind of fanned out like that. And It's probably going to be a small movement because it's really hard to do a push-up like that because you're really isolating the triceps. Also, if you're on a ball, it's not steady. So, a couple of things, tuck your hips under a little bit. I would probably start in a box shape, maybe hands a bit further forwards and see how that feels. You don't even have to go that low and come up. If you feel you've got the strength, you can take your knees back, start hips tucked under, down and push up. So just 8 of those. Remember, if you want to stay in that box, it's going to be easier. And you're bending your elbows not to the side, otherwise you're going to hurt your wrist. They've got to go back. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And in, shoulders away from the ears. And out. I've got 3 more. You might have already got to your 8. Again, you can just have your hands on the floor. 1 more. You see, I'm not going very far at all. Lovely, release. It just really works that. So you don't have to do a really deep one. If you can, wonderful, but you don't need to. Let's stretch these wrists out. Lovely. So just a nice bit of stretching for the spine and the arms. Nice bit gentle. So we're going to sit in this position. We're going to let the knees fall over to the, just that way. Just do that, it's easier. Make sure you've got room. Now, if you've got a towel, you're probably just going to have to use your hand and just not have to use anything. But if you have a ball, you can use it to make the movement a bit bigger. So, again, it's optional. You can just slide your hand down your mat and come up because a towel is not going to roll. Or if you have a ball, it's really just for momentum. There's not really much weight in the ball. Then we're going to add it over arm head. Arm overhead. Breathe in. And out. So we're getting a very small crunch in the waist here. So with your feet, you can keep them here. You can separate them a bit more if you want. The further that leg's back, the more you separate, you're going to feel all sorts of different bits of the body working, the hip stretching. So you've got to work with what works for you. Breathe in as we go over. Breathe out as we come back. So next time, hold it here. Regardless of your ball, just put your hands down on the floor and turn to face that leg. So we're just getting a nice stretch in this hip because we're turning away from it. So you can see it's nice and stretched. And you're just holding here, seeing how that feels. You know, can you take that back leg further back? If not, keep it where it is. And can you lean into it? So you're going to just have your own level of what's comfortable. Could you go further? Again, just listen to your own body. And coming up, lovely, we're going to switch sides. So we start small, the knees to the side, and we just tuck them in. And as we go on, you can push this leg further and further back. Let's start little. Again, you can have the ball. Even if you've got a ball, you don't have to use it if you feel that feels unsteady, especially if you might have any shoulder injuries. The hand's quite a nice slide. Lovely, let's just slide and come back. And again, how far do you want to take it? You haven't got to reach all the way because then you've got to push on the shoulder to come up more. I'm going to separate the feet. Let's add that overarm, overhead arm. Why can't I say that? Breathe in, you're crunching here. Breathe out. We're going to do quite a little bit of side crunching today. Lots of core and ab work today. Two more, lovely. Breathing into it. Last one, let's hold. And then I'm just going to hand down, turn myself towards the mat. So I'm trying to turn my chest towards the mat. The ball is out the way. Again, what you want to do with the legs is up to you. You can push this one further back if that's comfortable. And you're slowly leaning forwards as much as your body wants to. Wherever you're supposed to be, that's where you're supposed to be. Breathe. Getting a really nice stretch right down this side. Lovely. Okay. So, I want to do... Worked out how to use the watch now. Okay. So we're going to be putting either the ball or the towel underneath the upper back. I'll just show you if you have got a towel. So it's just under your, it's kind of on your, under your shoulder blades. We're going to be doing, reaching back, so you can see I'm getting an arch in the back and then crunching up. We're going to do quite a few of these and then adding twists and adding arms. So you don't even have to have that if that's any uncomfortableness. Discomfort's a better word. Or if you've got the ball, same thing. A ball's a little bit bigger and a bit more buoyant, so bear that in mind. A towel is a bit flatter, so it might not be as much. We don't want to have the ball down here, you'll feel it be too much in your lower back, but support the head, and again you can link the hands, the head is heavy, we really just want to let that head sit into those hands. And again, we just feel your tummy drawing in, zip up the pelvic floor. So when you're here, you're already engaged. You can see, so if you just held here, you're already engaging the tummy. But what we want to do is just reach back a little and then come back. So just see how far you're comfortable with. Can just be a small lean back. The more you do this, you might find, oh, I can go a bit further, but support your head. So we stretch the abdominals and then we crunch. Breathe in. As you breathe out, pull your belly in, squeeze your pelvic floor. So when you're here, you're really working those abdominals. Lovely. Breathe in and out and in. And again, any sort of pain in the back or twinging, anything, just lose the ball or the towel and you can just do crunches just like this, will be fine. Lovely. I'm going to slightly add a different thing onto this. Lift up and just twist very slightly and come back and down. And lift up and twist. So I'm just literally taking my elbows to the side. It's very small and lower. Breathe in, breathe out. Twist. So we're working those oblique muscles. The main thing is keep this controlled squeeze in and then a small rotation. It's very small, but those abs are pulled in, zipped up pelvic floor, rotate. And you're feeling it in your sides. Okay, I'm going to add on another level. I'm going to start to lift a leg. And again, you're going to see how that feels for you. Keep the twist. Lift a leg. So try not to pull the leg in, just have it here. Twist and lower. Again, the main thing with this is pull the tummy in. You should be shaking already. Twist. Because you're already lifted, you're already crunched more than just lifting the head. So then you'd add a knee and a twist. That should be quite hard. But your rib cage is drawing down towards your hips. Again, your legs are optional. Let's hold it up here. Just twist and add the knee. And lower. Twist and add the knee. Pull those abs in. Really tight. Zip that pelvic floor up. This is nice and controlled and slow. You're still trying to lift up but support the head. You should feel that tummy shaking. Two more. One more. Lovely. Let's just release, stretch over the ball or the towel. Just giving those upper back a nice stretch. Lovely, gently calming up. Let's take the ball away. So I want to use the ball, in fact, let's go on our side before I do more abdominals. So this is abdominals, but it's to work the waist. So, probably don't need a ball at all for this. So I am just on my side, and I've got this arm here. This is the arm I'm going to push on, and then this arm is here. So we've got a couple of options. You can just crunch up to the side. Try not to do too much of this with your head. Just try and crunch and crunch. If you want to, you can take it up a bit further. If you're going to do that, probably take the top knee out so you've got some room, and you're taking your elbow to your thigh and you're crunching there. So again, you can keep it small or join in and make it big. And 2 and 3. Really pull that tummy in and that pelvic floor. Lovely. So I'm just gently leaning on the hand, leaning on the elbow. Just really working here. Working those obliques. Get some really nice sort of works our muffin top bits, I suppose you could say. It helps draw everything in, works the back, works the sides. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Let's gently switch sides before I forget. So same thing. Got this arm here. And you can just crunch up and down, crunch. You're still going to feel it. If you're not sure, put your hands there. When you lift up, you can feel that tense. Or open that leg and you've got more space. I do find I can't quite get anywhere with my legs, knees like that, but you'll find a comfortable position. But just really feel the crunch, like you're really bending. It isn't just about lifting up. Crunch. Take that elbow to the thigh. 5 more. Lovely. Wonderful stuff. Great. Okay, I'm going to take the ball or the towel under the lower back. So that means that the back is then curved. So you don't want the ball underneath the small of the back, otherwise that is going to be arched and really not good. But down by the tailbone, you can see it puts me in a pelvic tilt, which is what we want. So you're in your pelvic tilt. Again, if you're not comfortable with being on a ball, you could always just be on the floor. It's exactly the same. Just drawing yourself in. We're going to be lifting arms, legs and things. If you are going to be on the floor without a ball and you are lifting both legs, if you do have any kind of back issues, sometimes it's always good to put your hands underneath just to do that. But generally, back problems, only lift one leg. Never good to lift both. I will give options. Okay, so finding where we are comfortable. Long neck, hands down, pull the tummy in. So it's like you're doing that pelvic tilt. So imagine you're on the floor and you're just trying to press your lower back into the floor. This time you're just trying to press your lower back into a ball instead. Big toe, engage with the floor so that the knees aren't falling out. So we're squeezing the inner thighs. Lovely. Breathing in here, breathing out. On the out breath, visualise your rib cage drawing down towards your hips and you're just squeezing, pushing that back into the ball or the towel or the floor, and just almost a little bit more of a pelvic tilt. So when we were on all fours in the cat position and we were tucking the hips under, it's the same thing. Tuck those hips under, use your abs to pull in. Tuck under and hold. Wonderful. So hold in that position again. You've got to use the abs to hold it. We're going to add a leg. Lift in a leg. And lower. Wonderful. Lift in another leg. So it's very easy to relax and do this. That's nice and easy, but you can see it's not really doing much. So you've got to tuck and tilt and pull in, then you're going to feel it. It's same as if you're on the floor, working the floor. Base level, we're going to here, or we can add on. Let's just start by adding one arm into the air. Let's slow it down a little bit. Pull those abs in, suck up that pelvic floor. Can we do two arms? Lovely. Again, the arms are optional. You don't have to have them. Try and avoid bringing the knee in, keeping it above that hip height. Lovely. Tuck under though. Don't lose tuck. Really pull that. Oh, I seem to lose it on there, but I think I'm back. Oh, good. I can. You're all here. You're all here. Good. My whole screen went blank then. Don't know what happened. Okay, so you either double legs and both arms, or you could do the double legs but have your hands on the floor. Lovely. Let's just rest those knees into the chest for a moment. So I want to do a similar thing with straight legs. So like a scissors position. So can we lengthen one leg up in the air and the other one here? Maybe start with the hands on the floor, see how you go. I'm still tucked and tilted. And switch. And switch. Don't worry if you can't get straight legs. This is challenging your balance because you're on a ball or a towel. And even if you're on the floor, you're still having to move your legs, working your abdominals, and you're working these hamstrings as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my position a bit so I've got a bit more room because I'm going to change these legs. I need space. So what we're going to do is, and again, if you feel any kind of twinge, just stick to the scissors. But if you can, scissors, circle, switch. Makes sense? So you scissors, and then you do a round switch, switch, and scissors, and switch, and scissors. Could we take an arm off and switch, and switch, circle round, and switch. I'm going to take the other arm off. So the legs are just rotating round. I'm going to take them the other way. Switch. I can't do the other way. That's it. Switch. And round, anti-clockwise. Oh, that's a real challenge when you suddenly have to switch. Again, you can have your hands down. Tuck and tilt, pull that abs in, switch, rotate, one more. Lovely, bring the knees in. Gently take the ball out, release. Wonderful. So I want to do a little bit of bridge work. So either a towel or a ball in between the knees. Feet hip width apart. We're now in neutral, so we're not imprinting anymore. Let the tuck go for a moment. Let's just get ourselves into a nice neutral position. You can pull your hair up, sort of scoop your head to get a nice lengthened neck. Chin is tucked in, shoulders down. Feet hip width apart, so you don't want your hips wide and your knees together. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out. Now let's visualize again the rib cage drawing down towards the hips as you breathe out. Now let's do another flatten the back. It's not so much of a tilt because if you really tilt now, you're going to squeeze your bum and you're going to engage the legs. And we just want to use the abdominals to flatten into the floor because we're peeling off. Slightly different. Breathe in. Release, breathe out, curl the tailbone under, flatten the back into the floor. And it's especially this back bit of the back near the rib cage. Really think of getting that into the floor, not just pushing the tailbone the lower bit. Breathe in, release, breathe out, flatten the back into the floor. Then we're going to squeeze our bottom, squeeze the knees and lift up. So you shouldn't feel this in your legs, you should feel it in your bum and your back. So if you're feeling in the backs of your legs, squeeze your bum. So really like you're thrusting, squeeze your bum. Squeeze the knees to engage the inner thighs. Should feel a bit of a shake. Let's roll down, curve. Now really tuck, tilt in the air so you can get that lower back down before the tailbone. Lovely. Again, you could do this without the ball or the towel. If it's difficult, breathe in, breathe out, curl up, flatten the back. Squeeze the bottom, squeeze the knees. Again, that's what's going to stop you engaging the hamstrings. The backs of the legs should not hurt. Roll down. If you need to bring your feet a bit close, if you really feel the backs of the legs are hurting, but again, squeeze the knees and the thighs, the bottom should help. Breathe in, breathe out, curl up, squeeze. Lovely. So you're thrusting up. Imagine your knees have been pulled forward. Let's take the arms up in the air. And just squeeze and squeeze. So little pulses with the knees. Squeeze, squeeze. So whether it's a towel or a ball, squeeze and squeeze. Squeeze the bum and squeeze and squeeze. Lengthen the neck. Relax the shoulders. 4 more. And 3 and 2 and 1. Roll down, tuck and tilt. Release. Bring the knees into the chest, one at a time. Little roll around. Lovely. Let's hold the right knee in, lengthen the left leg away. Really lengthening this leg, feeling the stretch in our hip flexor, and pull that knee across. We'll do some nice good stretches for the legs today. Quite a lot of core already. Wonderful. Let's place that foot back down. Let's bring the left knee in, lengthen the right leg away. Keep your spine in neutral, your neck and shoulders are relaxed, chin tucked in. But really lengthen the legs in opposing directions, breathing into it. Pull that knee across the body, keeping the weight firmly centered. Wonderful. So using the knee, grab the back of it, let that help you come up to sitting position. So I want to do some nice stretches for the legs and the hips. So let's do our legs first. So you may want to put a towel or something under your knee. It's our usual stretch, but sometimes this mat is a bit thinner. So we're on our knees. Let's have our hands at the back and just push your hips forwards. Get a nice stretch here. It's the same as we did the other week when we were standing up, but you're doing it down. So really think of it as your hips you're pushing forward rather than leaning back. So push on your hands. Breathe. Release. Let's take one step forward. Oh, I can really feel this is not my squidgy mat. So sometimes, as long as your knee stays over your ankle, you might want to have the hand here and then lunge forward so you're not rolling on your knee or put a towel under it. You're probably okay if you're on carpet, to be fair. You can inch that foot forward as long as your knee's over the ankle and just lunging into it. Drawing these hips down. And gently, gently release. Let's switch sides. So knee here, draw forward, stretching out this hip flexor. And then maybe leaning down and then pushing the hips down again and shuffling that foot forwards. Always feeling nice and long from your top of your head to your tailbone. And gently come up. Lovely. So this next exercise exercise, there's a couple of options. If you've got a wall nearby you, we're going to use that to lean on. But if not, because we're going to be doing this stretch, so you can lean against the wall, or if you don't have a wall, when we get to it, you can just roll down and take that stretch to the floor. But either way, we're all starting sitting up. Let's take the right leg, and again, a ball or a towel nearby for support. Right leg into the thigh, and you can sort of sweep underneath your bottom, it helps to pull you up. And then we're just going to turn to that bent leg, using this hand to push you round, and then reach that arm up. Looking into the eye of the elbow, think you're reaching up and over, drawing an arc towards your toes. Just take the arm, reaching it down, stretching, stretching. You can let the neck relax. And then let's turn the body to face the chest. So this is where you might even find, you know, you can't get that far where you want some support. So you can use these objects to help support you. You know, especially the heel on a wooden floor is not overly comfortable. So you might find you just having a little bit of support, or to raise that leg to increase the stretch more if you're quite flexible. Again, work with your levels. Wonderful. So from here, this is where we're going to need a wall. So you're going to cross this foot over the leg. And then you're going to lean against the wall, or you're going to lie down and you're going to just bring that foot up. So it's either on your back or you're leaning against the wall. My bottom is really far from the wall, so you've got plenty of room. And it's just slowly bringing this leg in a bit more and this out a bit more, so you feel that lovely stretch in your hip. Again, everyone's going to be different, so see how you feel. If you can always get your arms through, grab the leg, pull it in. Just listen to your knees, listen to your hips, breathing into it. Lovely. And release. Let's just gently come out of that stretch. We're going to switch sides. So we started sitting up, bringing the left heel into that thigh, using the hand to push away, looking towards the bent leg. Then we're reaching up and over. Breathe into it, find the space, just let the body gently stretch. Let the neck relax. And then let's turn the chest towards the leg. Breathing into it, try and let the knee relax. Not to tense all the muscles around it. Nice deep breath. Slowly release. Lovely. So I'm going to take this leg and cross it over, and then either lie yourself down or lean against the wall, and that leg is going to start to come up. So it's slowly, slowly, just inching that foot in bit by bit. You might find that the leg comes down, the knee comes out. You just listen to your knees. There's always one side a bit looser than the other. You can always push yourself up against the wall a little bit if you're not feeling it so much. If you feel like you've got your foot right in, then push yourself back. Breathing into it, supporting that leg if you need to. Shouldn't feel any tension in the knee. If you do, just take the leg a bit longer, or lie down and do it on your back. It's probably a good one for this if this is really intense. Or have your foot further away. Lovely. One more nice deep breath. And then we're slowly coming out of it. Want to come onto all fours. Again, this is to really stretch out the hips and your inner thighs. Onto all fours. Bring your right knee towards your right wrist. And then slowly, I'm going to take that left leg back behind me. This foot underneath me, I'm going to try and inch it over towards my left. So I've kind of created a triangle shape. Again, only as far as you're comfortable with. I'm always trying to twist my left hip in, but I'm trying to push the right hip down. So there's a kind of pushing feeling on both sides. And again, just relaxing into it. If you're feeling your knee hurt, just keep your foot more underneath you, but really reach back with that left leg. Try and reach it back, and then slowly leaning forward for as much as you can. Again, with this sort of exercise, use your props to help you if you need a bit of support. If that's too much, have a towel there, lean into that. You don't have to just push your body to these extremes. You're trying to get your bottom down, trying to rotate that left hip to face the floor. Just working with your own body. One more deep breath, and gently, gently coming up. So the best way to get out of this is put your hands down, put the weight into them, and just let that sort of knee slide back underneath. Draw the back leg in. We're back to all fours, and we're going to repeat on the other side. Make sure you've got room behind you. Bringing my left knee in towards my left wrist. And then I'll let this leg slide back. And then this foot's going to swidgle underneath. I'm trying to lengthen that leg back and relax. That's it. So again, I can really sense a definite tightness on this side. Trying to push that hip down. I'm trying to rotate this one round as well. Trying to reach back, breathe into it, relax, leaning forward. Again, use your props wherever you might feel they need it on either side. One more deep breath. Wonderful. Again, hands down. Let's just slowly come up. Just have a little child pose. Stretch the arms forward. And then very gently, let's come down to the floor. So I'm going to have the feet in towards the bottom, knees together, hands to the side, very gently. Let's let those knees just one way slide, then the other way. And again, I'm going to let them fall over. Again, this is where it's so important to have something there. And then once you feel comfortable, you can take it out. Or may not, you might want to leave it there. Listen to your body. If you're happy, those knees can come down. You can have your shoulders relaxed. Before we look the other way, if you feel comfortable, take your leg and you can almost reach it over the top, reach it out, cross it over. You're just pulling that knee up with the hand. You can grab that. Keep the shoulders down and look the other way. So it's just adding on a little bit if you want to, or just keep those knees together. Gently, let's release the knees. Let's come back to center. Get ourselves nice and centered, neck is long, bring those feet in, let's let those knees gently, gently go the other way. And again, if you feel comfortable, this top leg can start to come over. Don't worry if your knees not trying to touch the floor, just easing it down so you're getting a bit more of a stretch here. Keeping the other shoulder down, gently looking towards it. Just making a mental note of how this side felt against the other side, where there might be any tightness, any tension. I certainly feel it here more. I've always got an issue with this right hip. Breathe. One more nice deep breath. Wonderful. Very gently, let's let ourselves come onto our backs. Nice and slowly. Let's do one full body stretch. And then we're going to take it into a little bit of relaxation. So if you want to grab a blanket or you want to put your legs, the backs of your knees on a towel is quite nice, or a pillow, or whatever is working for you. Just lie there comfortably. And let's take a nice deep breath in. Keeping the eyes open. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Lying where your arms are comfortable. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. One more deep breath in through the nose. Out through the mouth and close the eyes. And then just breathe through the nose, just gentle breath. And just be aware of your body and your chest rising and falling and your tummy rising and falling. So you're just focusing on your breath, breathing in, breathing out. Let's have a scan of the body, starting with your top of your head, coming down your face into your neck. How does it feel? Are you relaxed? Is there any tension anywhere? And then down into the chest and the arms and the shoulders. Just small readjustments if you need it, just so you feel lovely and relaxed. Then down from your tummy into your legs, your knees, your thighs, your ankles, your feet. And just having a little scan, seeing how your body feels. And then imagining a little pinprick of light just inside your tummy that's just bursting inside of you, and it's starting to fill your body with light. Today we're going to think about random acts of kindness for others. We've been kind to ourselves. Let's think of kindness to others. Maybe you can do a nice act of kindness today or tomorrow. No need to make a note of it or let the person know. Just a random act of kindness for your own well-being and fulfillment. So this light is bursting through with kindness. If you find this hard to visualize, maybe visualize it on another person, or you can imagine you can see a body lying there and you can see the light bursting through. And that light is filling that whole body, spreading through the body until the whole body is filled with light and kindness and well-being. And then imagining that body with hundreds of little pinpricks in it, and all that light starting to burst out of your body. And it's filling the room that you're in, spreading the kindness, spreading that well-being, spreading that love. And it's spreading out into your house, out into the sky, out into the street. You let your mind take that wherever it wants to go. It can take it off into the sky, into the wind, into the water. Just let your mind be free. And then gently drawing your mind and awareness back to your own breath. Nice deep breaths in and out. Just sensing the energy, the life coming into your body. And your tummy rising and falling, just focusing on the breath. And having a little scan of the body from the feet up. Is there any difference in how you feel? Any tension, just relieve it, let it go, have a wiggle, have a move. Do you feel happier? Any different? And let's wiggle our fingers and our toes. We can move our tongue around. We can have a little roll of the head side to side. Maybe circle the wrists, circle the feet. And start to bring awareness back with bigger movements. Resist the urge to just jump up. Let your body gently come back to life. Stretch, full body stretch, arms above the head. Nice deep breath in, breathing out. Let's place one foot on the floor. Then another foot on the floor. Let's bring one knee into the chest and have a little circle round. And then the other knee. And circle them both around, massaging that lower back into the mat. Let's roll over onto our right hand side. Keeping those eyes closed if you can, just come into a child's pose position. And then gently open the eyes while you're looking down. Slowly letting the light in, hands on the mat. Slowly lifting up. Gently, gently, let's come to a seated position that's comfortable to you. We'll have a little stretch. Breathe in, reach up. And out. Again, breathe in, reach up. And out. One more. Stretch. And give yourselves a clap. Thank you so much, everybody.